Yeah, the more you eat, the more you want to eat as well.
I've actually just gone live, so can you check if there is sound on the video? Can one of you yeah, safe. Hello, hello.
Streaming on
YouTube, man. I posted the link in the crib. Actually, I could check myself. Oh yeah, yeah. The sound's on. Fine. Can I hear you though?
Hello.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear. We can hear everyone. Awesome. Sweet. All right, folks. So I've created a deck, a custom tarot deck for everyone to just enjoy and learn about themselves through divination. So I am the creator of this deck, or the Brahma of this deck, and we're just gonna get into it. We're gonna see what comes up, and then talk about whatever tingles the mind. So the first card is Luch. Luch.
How fitting.
What's that, Sean?
How fitting.
Yes, how fitting. A lot has been done. A lot of work has been done about Luch over the time. I actually discovered Luch probably about 3 years ago. When I watched the film The Cabin in the Woods, and The Cabin in the Woods is basically a movie about the government sating hunger for blood of these giants that live underground. And I've fittingly named them the Nephilim. So that's why the card is Nephilim and then Luch. But basically, these gods, these old gods, have a hunger for Luch, and to sate their Luch, to sate their hunger, rather, the government gets these people to go to a cabin, and then they release monsters on them, and they get them to choose which monster arrives on the scene. And it is a pretty hilarious movie, actually. Have you seen this movie, guys?
I've seen it, but I can't remember it.
Fair. It's a pretty good movie. It just goes to show that whatever topic we're talking about, you'll find it in Hollywood. Hollywood always has. Oh, okay. Tariq has to go.
Yeah, I'll catch you later.
All right, Tariq.
See you, man.
Take care.
Peace. So yeah, Luch. There was a guy who Sean introduced me to. Well, not like personally. I don't actually know the guy. I don't know if he's still alive even. By the name of Robert Monroe. And can you tell us a little bit about Robert Monroe, Sean, from what you know of him?
Oh, yeah. So basically, the guy used to have out of body experiences, and he also worked with cymatics. So he had a company that created waveforms to help people sleep, essentially. And so when he started having these out of body experiences, he went to his company to get them to help him work on why he was getting these out-of-body experiences, and they managed to find waveforms to help people get these out-of-body experiences. So he had over 1,000 recorded out-of-body experiences and was able to tap into these experiences
Yeah.
off of his own accord, essentially.
And supposedly he spoke to like entities beyond like our realm, right?
Yeah, I think he refers to them as light beings or something.
Wow, that's interesting, especially considering like the current like popular Instagram spirituality talking about light beings and stuff. That's pretty telling. Um, so the frequencies you were talking about, is that binaural beats?
That's right.
Binaural beats. Yeah, I've actually used binaural beats myself. I typically use white noise because I find white noise is like just a soothing waterfall of just bliss, and I use it to get to sleep, just drown out the sound, and it's really effective. But binaural beats is a little bit different because it actually uses like two frequencies, hence the bi in binaural. It uses two frequencies that like coalesce together, don't they?
Just to add to that as well,
Yeah.
apparently he gained popularity after writing a book about an out-of-body experience in which he encountered reptiles.
Reptiles. No way.
Who would have thought?
Shit. Fucking reptiles, bro. Literally, like we hear about reptiles to no end in the conspiracy community, and like I'm not gonna lie, it is a pretty archetypally relevant like animal as well, the reptile, because obviously the reptile has the limbic brain, and the limbic brain is we have our reptilian brain. It's called the limbic system, and that limbic system is responsible for three things: fight, freeze, and flight, which funnily enough all begin with the letter F. And if we look into gematria, the letter F is the number 6. So that is 666, which is the mark of the beast in the Bible, but also the the structure of carbon is 666. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. So this so we're carbon-based bodies. So the flesh literally represents this fear modality, this fight, freeze, and flight, which is akin to the reptilians. So perhaps these reptilians are a primordial force, similar to how the limbic system is a primordial part of the brain. And yeah, that's what I think about it. Pretty interesting.
It said as well that the most common humanoids were reptiles.
that he came in contact with.
Yeah, so it's he said that he had witnessed similar lizard-like creatures during his many out-of-body adventures, and Monroe and his team have been collecting data on these incredible creatures for over 35 years and found the following. These vile lizards have controlled and enslaved humanity for millennia. They exist and operate in the fourth dimension and are only visible to those people who can see beyond our extremely limited spectrum of visible light. The reptilians feed on our spiritual life force, which Monroe calls Luch. Negative/low vibrational energy is essential for their survival. These parasitic creatures see the earth as a huge farm where they collect human fear, hatred, anxiety, anger, and depression and feed on it. Their intelligence equals or exceeds that of a human, and this elusive reptilian race sees itself as the true and supreme ruler of humanity.
Holy moly. That's a lot to take in.
It's pretty crazy if you think about the Pope as well and how he is in the Vatican Hall. You've got like reptilian artifacts and sculptures. Like if you look at the Vatican Hall from the top, you can see a snake head. And you can also see a statue of what seems to be a shape-shifting reptilian humanoid.
Yeah, I'm showing it on the screen now. Yeah, I've seen this before. The Vatican hall structure architecture with eyes as windows, stained glass windows, and the that looks like the snout, just the curving roof. Yeah, madness. That is a really good symbolism, man.
We've also got, like, if you type in reptilians on Google, one of the first things that comes up when I type in reptilians on the right side of my screen is a Wikipedia article stating reptilian conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
It just goes to show, like, why would you type in reptilians? Why would that be the first thing to come up unless it's trying to, you know, push some sort of
narrative.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. There's clearly an agenda behind it. Otherwise, there wouldn't be this conspiracy theory like counterculture. Essentially, it is a counterculture. Quite simply, like
If it was not true, then why would they have to prove its falseness?
exactly, bro. Because the truth defends itself. That's the thing. The truth defends itself. And this is the thing that people need to really like understand is that you don't need to disprove things. They disprove themselves.
Exactly.
Well, what is talking about a reptilian conspiracy theory going to change anyway? You know, like like if people become consumed by this conspiracy theory and become mentally ill inverted commas, then they don't become. What do you think? They're all going to become useless to society, and everyone's going to become a reptilian conspiracy theorist. There's got to be some truth to it for people to be engaged in it, and that's the thing. I think people are polarized to the fact that it's got to be one or the other. It's got to be, oh yeah, I'm a reptilian conspiracy theorist, or like I'm just a blue pilled good Samaritan or a good law abiding citizen. It's not as simple as like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one or the other. It's like what truth can you take out of things? Because there's always a shit sandwich being sold. You know, there's always your favorite flavor of denial being sold at the gateways to higher truths. Yeah, madness.
I mean, that's just the start of it as well, you know. So
Yeah. Think we could talk about like currency and how they've basically turned like value into a standardized coin, and how they basically control the power in the world by controlling the flow of value as currency, or currency as in the sea currents, because it's all admiral law. It's all the law of the seas, and the legal name fraud is the perfect nostrum to this um, delusion, or this illusion, more like. So the BCCRSS, if you don't know, folks, you should look it up, BCCRSS, because it will set you free in terms of the crown corporate enslavement that has been issued to you on birth, on the time of your birth, by your parents' consent, and it is it's as simple as that, folks. You know, you're a you're a crown corporation. You're a corporation now because they have turned you into a legal fiction, and unless you break these bondages, you will never be free. You'll never be a sovereign being. And Hades just came up in the tarot, so I'm gonna talk about initiation. I'm initiating you into this realm of reason, let's say, because it's for your own good, really. Hades, the initiator, the underworld, the god of the underworld. a three-headed dog. Interesting. It's like a reverse trinity. It's like the Son, the Father, and the Holy Spirit, but like in a dog form. Dog is a man's best friend. They've become oddly domesticated over the years from wolves. I think there's a really like interesting natural phenomena in terms of why dogs are next to people a lot, and I believe it to be the fact that they're fragments of our higher self, and I actually have evidence to support this. Interestingly enough, my quite sad actually, my dog was hurt by a mousetrap when just before she died, and it was on her nose, and at one stage in my life, I climbed into a sign and I scratched my face, but it hit my nose, and it could have broken my nose. It didn't. But I feared that my dog's nose was broken, unfortunately, and it was kind of sad because my family kind of didn't notice it or anything, and they kind of ignored her, which was kind of sad. But I believed our injuries to be connected, and the reason for this correlation is the fact that basically we're connected like uh, physiologically and spiritually to a higher self that she is a fragment of, essentially. And I don't think I've ever actually spoken this truth to anyone because it's a little bit crazy. But you ever seen like the video of a dog walking in shoes and then a cat like falls on this guy? You ever seen that video, Sean?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it's a mad video. It's a dog wearing shoes. Chases cat falling on man. Yeah, cat falls on man, knocks him out, and then a dog in shoes lazily defends his honor. Can you see me streaming this, bro?
I'll just open the stream.
Sweet. A cat falls on him. Then the dog realizes that he's like knocked out and like starts like trying to like interrogate the cat with shoes on. Probably the most absurd video that I've ever seen, to be honest. But why is that dog wearing shoes? You know, I feel like it's because like we're connected so much that like that dog like has like the imprint of shoeness in him. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, right? But like just think for a second, like if we're like some higher dimensional entity existing beyond in heaven, right? And and we're down in the flesh, and a dog is a man's best friend, right? Then how it might be the case that like a dog is a fragment of our higher self, just like we're a fragment of our higher self. And the reason for it is because we're friends. We create this loving relationship that our higher self reflects. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, there's also that old quote, isn't there, about empathy or sympathy about wearing the same shoes as someone. Have you heard that before?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, that. Yeah. Walk a day in their shoes or something like that.
Yeah, the dog knows.
It's quite a fringe theory, to be honest, but I thought I may as well talk about it. Why not? Okay, let's see what the cards say about what I just said. Let me shuffle it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Fire, Sentence. Matrix code. Fire Sisyphus code. I used to be called Sisyphus on Steam, actually, because I really like the myth of Sisyphus. So maybe it's saying like fire code me, like fire me code, like your code is fire. Perhaps, I don't know. Maybe that's a shot in the dark or a grasping for straws, but I like it regardless. Let's draw a card and just talk about fishy suspiciousness. High sus on the government right now and the Queen's death, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Is she actually dead?
I don't know. Probably not. No one's seen anything of her. Could be a clone anyway.
True that. True that.
I would say it's more of a distraction than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, even if she is dead, it's still a distraction, like for sure. You know, they make a lot of money doing this. They probably had the film and the documentaries like set up before her death, like months before her death. You know.
Right, Luch as well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I guess the whole nation fucking grabbing their handkerchief and dabbing their eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's weak, is what it is. To be honest with you, it's like, well, have you forgotten about all the other people that die every day?
Yeah. Why is she any different?
Yeah. Toy lamb peacock. Tool of recreation, victimhood, appearance of victimhood in the case of the queen. Oh, she's just a
Harmless old
a
lady.
harmless old lady. But in reality, she's probably like a reptilian Luch farmer. Literally, man, she probably has like her own designated island where she like fucking,
Jeffrey Epstein's up.
exactly like the Jeffrey Epstein scandal shit, which came into the mainstream for a little while, and really wasn't fully like spoken about, if you know what I mean, like the whole Lolita Island stuff and like all the other names on that list on the flights to this island. Like, I'm pretty sure Bill Gates was on that list as well. It's pretty funky business what they're doing, like, or fishy business, should I say. The straw man. Let's talk about the straw man. This is essentially the legal name fraud in a nutshell. A straw man, sometimes written as straw man, is a form of argument and an informal fallacy of having the impression of refuting an argument, whereas the real subject of the argument was not addressed or refuted, but instead replaced with a false one. One who engages in this fallacy is said to be attacking a straw man. The typical straw man argument creates the illusion of having refuted or defeated an opponent's proposition through the covert replacement of it with a different proposition, and the subsequent refutation of that false argument instead of the opponent's proposition. Straw man arguments have been used throughout history in polemical debate, particularly regarding highly charged emotional subjects. Straw man tactics in the United Kingdom may also be known as the Aunt Sally, after a pub game of the same name where patrons throw sticks or batons at a post to knock it off a skittle balanced on top. The straw man. I hate people who use ad hominem arguments. Like, I mean, we face this a lot as woke individuals, and I say that word quite like, I don't say it lightly, because at the end of the day, there's always so much more you can learn, and in reality, from in terms of like the threshold of enlightenment, we're like as far away from that as the sheep are away from us. So like, whatever. But ad hominem is the same thing as a straw man. Essentially, they're just fallacious arguments, and we have to deal with this shit constantly because people don't actually use the truth. They stand on the truth and not in the truth, and they expect the world to just spoon feed them everything, even though what they want is an illusion, which is the straw. So this card that I've got here is straw, and it means fallacy. We can talk about how ISIS is government run as well. Like, I always wondered why they had like production value executions and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think that's a bit silly? Like, they have Hollywood fucking camera setups where they're basically throwing RPGs at some guy in a car, or like dropping a rock on some cunt's head. It's like what? Like, you filmed this in HD 4K resolution in slow mo. Like, they got phantom cameras now, do they? It's crazy. The jihad, the bad martyr. Not someone who sacrifices themselves, but someone who sacrifices themselves and everyone else who in their vicinity of the explosion, for instance. The bad jihad, the bad martyr. Oh look, blue pill is on the top of the deck. I wonder what comes after it. Good leader. Sterile. Okay. The blue pill is the comfortable lie. It's the illusion. It's the Maya. That's why the Mayans are such a popular civilization, because they actually know the reality of the illusion, which sounds like an oxymoron, but it's the truth. If you look at the Ohm symbol, it actually breaks down this illusion quite succinctly. Ohm symbol meaning down. Live on Instagram right now. But no, live on YouTube right now. Tune in. So I just send a message. Right, so can you see this image, Sean?
Oh, I'm in a game, bro.
Oh, okay, no worries, no worries. So basically, see that little dot above the ohm symbol? That's the absolute state. The dot signifies the fourth state of consciousness. In this state, the consciousness looks neither outwards nor inwards. This utterly quiet, peaceful, and blissful state is the ultimate aim of all spiritual activity. And then it's got the line just beneath that absolute dot, that 0 point. That line is known as illusion or Maya. And the reason it's there might seem it's not actually talked about in this decode, this breakdown, but I'll just whip out the snipping tool and I'll show you exactly what this is. So think of the dot as the white light, or the light emanating, and then that line beneath it is a lens, and it creates this duality of the waking state and the dream state, right? The sun and the moon, right? So this So let's say Saturn, for instance. Saturn is this, I believe it to be the ruler of heaven, ruler of time. Saturn is this emanating light or this absolute reality that by through the lens of the uh, maybe the firmament or some sort of immaterial uh, lens is being refracted into two realities, essentially one being the waking state or the sun, and the one being the dreamy state, which is the moon. It says here the waking state, represented by the large curve or look a three. It looks like a three. This state of consciousness is turned outwards and experiences the world through five senses. This is the most common state of human consciousness. And then it says, oh wait, so no, it's actually, it doesn't split into two, although it does split into two. It actually splits into three. So the one on the left is unconscious state, and the one on the second one on the left, at the bottom of the left, is the waking state, and then the dream state only has one. So the left has two, the right has one. So let me do the unconscious state first. The top curve denotes a state of deep sleep. This is where the sleeper is subconsciously shut down, desiring nothing and having no dreams. The waking state, represented by the large curve. This state of consciousness is turned outwards and experiences the world through the five senses. This is the most common state of the human consciousness. The dream state, the middle curve, which lies between deep sleep and the waking state, signifies the dream state. In this state, the consciousness is turned within and the dreamer experiences a world behind closed eyes. So that's my breakdown of the Ohm symbol, which is a very popular symbol. I actually have that symbol on my T-shirt right now. But it just goes to show the Mayans and the Maya. They refer to it as Maya in this breakdown. They refer to that line as Maya, and I believe that line to be also a lens of sorts that refracts the absolute truth into a tangible reality of the material or the mortal. Very interesting stuff. Definitely check out Robert Monroe when you get a chance, because
Yeah, he knows his shit.
yeah, he knows his shit. In a world with COVID, is the current like what's the word? Hype, right? Exactly, hype. Sterility is like a fashion. Being sterile, you know what I'm saying? Like, but people don't rely.
Destroying your microbiome.
Exactly, people don't rely on their immunity anymore to things. You know, the
They
reason
have no immunity.
they have no immunity, ironically, because of the vaccine.
Yeah, and constantly sterilizing themselves so that they're destroying their gut microflora.
Yeah, yeah, literally drinking alcohol. I need to go for a piss a sec. I'll be back now. Oh, oh shit! I'm gonna grab some water. One sec. Which, by the way, has fluoride and chlorine in it. So lesser evil because I'm thirsty. But you know, get a distiller if you can, folks. Have you ever heard about the Hampstead cover-up, Sean?
No, what's that?
Basically, these kids came out and said that the school and the police were basically in on this satanic cult where they made them drink babies' blood and eat like fucking babies and shit, and they molested these kids and shit. It's pretty fucking dark, man.
Yeah, that's deep.
And I was just thinking about like how Hot Fuzz is like so fucking close to what that reality is. It's just like a random town called what's the town called in Hot Fuzz? It's called like Stanford or some shit like that, right? Which sounds a lot like Sand Fort, which is like water and earth, which is kind of telling, I suppose. I don't know. Water and earth, elementals. But anyway, basically the setting is the fictitious town of Sanford, the all-purpose place name used in UK police training exercises. In fact, the opening training scenes were filmed in London Metropolitan Police's near training complex, Hendon Police Training College, Peel Centre, Aerodrome Road. So I'll tell you a little bit about Hot Fuzz, because you know it features like a cult, and they're talking about the greater good, and shit like that. So the plot, I don't really want to read that. It's a lengthy plot. Yeah, I'm not reading that. CBA. Let's draw some more cards. Tiger potency. Good old life force, eh? Semen. See if I can construct a sentence out of these cards first, and then we'll talk about semen retention, because they really rub it in your face with semen retention as well. Okay, that's mad. Right, so we've got the topic on the left here, which is the tiger, and it says potency. And obviously potency is all about like intensity of energy, and I like want to render this to be life force. And then it's got on the right of this shepherd, red pill, tumbleweed, sloth. And basically what I think about that is that I'm the shepherd. I sound like I'm in Pulp Fiction right now. I'm the shepherd. I'm giving out the red pills. The stream is dead because this tumbleweed is remote. The stream's dead as fuck, and the sloth is I'm lazy and I won't read the Hot Fuzz plot because it's pretty much the same shit, different day. Same shit. Wow, I didn't realize the shit was on the top of the deck. So we've been live for 41 minutes, 41 seconds. Might have a look at the Semen Retention YouTube. I've actually got an image on Semen Retention on my Instagram. Let me just send link.
Everyone should be on Semen Retention. At least, unless they want a kid.
Yeah. Or unless you can conduct white tantra.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Let me just turn off my virtual camera. So, will I stop the stream? If it does, I'm just gonna go back on later. Oh, it doesn't stop the stream. Right, sweet. Yeah. White tantra is basically where the Egyptians used to do this with masturbation as well. They used to masturbate, but they never actually jizzed. So they essentially just like had free orgasms, which is amazing if you think about it. I've actually done tantra once before, and it was in a dream, and I realized like when I woke up that I hadn't actually jizzed at all, so so I essentially had a free orgasm. Now that's the life I want to live. But like not even necessarily needing an orgasm as well, because that is like technically like kind of spiritually compromising too, if you think about it. Like the desire itself, you know. Would you agree, Sean? Sean, hello.
Yo.
Sorry, just checking you there, man. Semen retention. Oh my god, the first video that comes up is does science support No Nut November? And it's likely gonna be like, nope, it doesn't. You can fap all you want without consequences. And it's a girl that's saying it as well. What a succubus. Um What's the YouTube what's the YouTube channel? Semen Retention, man. Where
Semen Retention Club.
Club. Nice. I haven't actually subscribed to them yet. Wow, GTA San Andreas, Semen Retention. Let's check this out.
Whatever it is, you need to reduce the dose. Excuse me, but I never take drugs. We all know drugs are for losers and or sex maniacs. And right now, sex is the last thing on my mind.
Thank God for that.
Thank God for that. That's mad. Sex is the last thing on my mind. Thank God for that.
purpose in life? Like, homie, what you on?
I want to find the Austin Powers one because that is like a mad code. Austin Powers. Oh yeah, I've lost my mojo.
Austin Powers always because he has mojo. Mojo? Mojo. The libido, the life force, the essence, the right stuff. What the French call a certain, I don't know what.
Right, so you know when Doctor Evil is saying the what the French call a certain I don't know what, he's actually referring to what the French call the little death or the petite morte or something like that. Petite mort, little death. La petite mort is an expression that means the brief loss or weakening of consciousness, and in modern usage refers specifically to the sensation of post-orgasm as likened to death. So they're trying to talk about the French saying in this video, but he just covers it up with like I don't know what. But the whole thing is basically like, oh, I've lost my mojo because Doctor Evil stole my life force.
What the French call a certain, I don't know what. Ladies and gentlemen, I've developed a device for traveling through time, which I
Santos
call
Bonacci is a good person to look into as well.
using this.
Yeah, man, I almost forgot to mention Santos. Yeah, Santos is a G. Wow, two fake cards came up in the exact same order. Faith is like a rhyme with fake. Take is a rhyme with faith as well. Holy shit. All these rhyme. Taste is a rhyme with holy shit, they all rhyme, bro. Fake, faith, take, taste. I got 5 cards in a row that rhyme. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Living compassion. I love this deck. Pardon me. We got Angel, Agent of Good, Exposure, Heaven, Good Realm, Achilles' Weakness, Drugs or Recreation. So recreation in this sense would be like orgasm, fapping your life force away, which is your weakness, which is your Achilles heel, basically. That's what happens when you fall from heaven. You're in bondage. You're in the lust mortality matrix. So if you need it, guys, this is the BCCRSS WordPress website where you can read up on the Crown Corporate strawman slave enslavement paradigm. So yeah, check it out. It's pretty much the monkey wrench to their elaborate grandfather clock with a pendulum swing. is the duality of mortality. Oh, I need to turn my webcam back on. Hold up, how do I do that? Can I do that? Oh yeah, I can, yeah. Sweet. It's bccrss.wordpress.com. Easy to remember. Not as easy to read, but I suppose it depends on the kind of person you are. I know that I need to reread this to get, the full effect. And I suggest you do the same. So, yeah. Mojo.
I'm going to go back to the 60s and steal Austin Powers' mojo.
1969 is where he steals his mojo. Can you believe that? 69. They literally they can't not like have references to sex, can they? It's crazy.
They had to, didn't they?
Yeah. Been live streaming for almost an hour, so 8 minutes away from an hour mark. I think I'll finish up the video with some divination. Dystopia. We're living in a devolved realm, a realm that has evolved into depravity through consumer machine like I want to say capitalism and convolution. The camel preservation, that hump on your back. Yep, that's where the life force is kept. So you wanna keep hold of that as long as possible until you want to settle down or something. Unless you can perform white tantra, and then I'd say give it a go. But either way, you want to minimize desire anyway. So attachment and the like, and then you'll be free. You'll be the bird, which is, I think, integral. It's a nutrition. It's not just a taste, an integralness. Freedom is a integrity. Yeah. Tariq was talking about the bad spell, the gossip of the shills, and their potential to derail what we have going here, but I'm pretty sure it's impossible at this point. Because like we said, it's just another blue pill, a comfortable lie that can be quite easily reverse engineered on its head and against whoever is trying to weaponize it, because they're rats stuck in the duality of mortality, and they're concerned with appearances, and they're compelled by Luch, so that they basically turn into people who consume Luch regularly in the form of probably arguments with their loved ones, while the real Luch is being siphoned the uh, from the people above them, causing those arguments in ignorance, which is a hell of sorts. So yeah, this is the good spell, the gospel. I hope you had a funky evening. I've been multitasking a bit here, all over the shop with topics. Definitely gonna do this again. Hopefully, we haven't ran out of topics to talk about. There can always be more said. So, if you like what you see, tune in again. And other than that, stay safe, stay cool, and peace.